We're going to show you Murderer's Row, which is, I just got done speaking to Jim Brewer. And I'll show you that
and this
message
all ties
here. Pull
into
that
the
up
rest of
too.
our stuff tonight, so this was the best.
So pull that Jim Brewer shit up there too, because this one's wild. I think we got a real psycho on our hands with this Jim Brewer. I think he's been lying to us here, because he turns out he is part of Crowder's Murderer's Row. I don't know if I showed you this. Jim Brewer responds. Okay, let's see. Is that the full message? Okay, here we go. Remember on the last show, I asked him what? Because what did he say before? I was never a conservative. I never signed with Crowder. Og. Remember that?
Yes, that's right.
So I go, what the fuck? And he goes, I was never signed to his network. He asked me to join, and I'd said I'd really have to look into things. After it was announced, I immediately reached out and addressed it with him and my audience. Do I like going on? Yes. Am I on any networks? No. And I said, thanks for the info. He's definitely used your name over a half dozen times promoting the new network, advertising that you're on board. That's the reason everyone thought you turned into a Christian conservative. So he says this, so we thought, okay, he realized that Crowder's a creep now. He doesn't want to be labeled a conservative. Remember, that was his big thing with me. I am not a conservative.
He's made that very clear.
Then you shouldn't be on Crowder's Murderer's Row, where 5 conservatives sit around talking about cancel culture, which is what he did. And we're going to show you that video because it includes Bryan Callen and 444's Nick DiPaolo on Crowder's Murderer's Row, which is still on YouTube. How much murder could have possibly taken place?
Not much.
Here's the beginning. Comedic icons pull back the curtain on Hollywood censorship in politics. Murderer's Row, episode 1. It's what we've all been waiting for, this auxiliary content featuring Bryan Callen and Nick DiPaolo and the comedians that joined the Crowder Network during Crowder's lowest, PR issue of his life. Bryan Callen joins Crowder at his lowest, where he's even hated by his own fans. He was shown, and this is a bad place for a rapist, or an accused rapist. I went back into the article. I was reading his article. There was 3 women who accused Bryan of sexual misdoings. And 3 different women.
There was
in this one article.
One main one.
One main one, but there's others. So it's not just one lone crazy woman. So, but this is a weird place. It's weird for Bryan Callen, who just slithered out of his rape accusation cancellation, to come over here and be with the guy who was just busted abusing his wife, amongst all those other things. Why would he want to be a part of this now? Well, I'll tell you why. Because he ain't got no fucking money.
Do you think that Callen is so scared after Danny Masterson got 30 years?
This just came out. Danny Masterson from That 70 Show just got 30 years in prison. They say he won't even get parole till 25 years in, for sure. And imagine Callen seeing Danny Masterson go down for those 30 years. That could easily be him if somebody reopens a case. Bryan Callen must be shitting himself. So he's definitely trying to side with the right-wing people, pander to them, get them to have their back. It's really all that he has left. The fighter and the kid is dwindling. But it's just very weird that Brendan isn't saying anything about this. Joe Rogan isn't saying. This is a very low move. Everybody knows about what Crowder's going through. So for Nick DiPaolo and Bryan Callen to sit with him and be on his network at this time, it's weird that their other friends don't come in and say something. All right, let's see this Murderer's Row. Wait till you hear what Callen has to say. Mud Club. Jim Brewer. Bryan Callen. Nick DiPaolo. Hosted by, and this is so sick. So Steven Crowder wanted to have his own tough crowd where him and all the comedians are sitting around, but he's never been invited to something like that, to hang around with comics, because he's not a fucking comic. So he's holding his own murder. And are you one of the murderers of the row that we're about to see? You're the main comic in charge of the... So he had to put this together for himself in order to be part of anyone's crowd. Murderer's Row, he calls it.
All right. Okay. So the folks that we have here, I mean, the resume, if you were to stack it, I guess vertically, like we're going like geostrata layer. You have Bryan Callen. You can check out his dates at BRYANCALLEN.com. Mad
Looking
TV
tiny
alumni.
as fuck.
I mean, I don't know how many podcasts. What are you up to? 19 a day now?
Yeah, 19 a day. Can't stop, won't stop. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Then kind of a little bit of a rivalry because you have SNL alumni, and of course has been all over the country.
Oh, and there he is, Guilty Jim. Did you see the look on his face? Look at this.
A little bit of a rivalry.
He knows I'm
SNL
watching.
Alumni, and of course has been.
Oh, how dare you! I'm not a conservative. Then go nowhere near these guys. You can't hang out with these guys and not be what they are. Sorry. I'm not a conservative. I just agree with all of the everything Steve Crowder said. Then you're a full conservative. Don't be ashamed of that. And I can't believe these fans they have like no loyalty to anything going on. He could just sit there and go, I'm not a conservative. I hate conservatives. Well, then why does this audience like you? Shouldn't they be mad at you for that? He's a disgrace. Look at this. And he bombs constantly on this Murderer's Row. He just doesn't fit in anymore with comedians.
I'm saying, bro.
Then kind of a little bit of a rivalry because you have SNL alumni, and of course has been all over the country. You may have seen
doing
him,
jack shit.
I don't know how many films you've been, but you know you're proud of stand-up. Yeah.
They call Jim the rich man's Bryan
Okay, hold on a second. It's JimBrewer.com is where you can go see.
Jim Brewer doesn't have enough money to get a 1998 Mustang 4-cylinder. Used 88,000 miles. He can't get that. He is doing nothing. I mean, Tom Green is kicking his ass. He's trying to be the new Tom Green of the right. It's not working. He's bombing out everywhere. Everyone thought, oh, this is great. Jim Brewer's joined the conservatives. He comes on and they're like, you'll see.
You may have seen him in, I don't know how many films you've been, but you know, you're proud of stand-up. Yeah.
They call Jim the rich man's Bryan
Okay, hold on a second.
Callen.
It's JimBrewer.com is where you can go see his dates, and then of course you know me, love me on the show very often. NickDip.com. You can watch him on Mug Club.
There he is. Oh. And when are you going to start having, when I go to the doctor and he goes, oh, I wouldn't even want to give you testosterone. It comes with so many problems. When do the problems start for these guys? Can they experience some of the problems that you're supposed to get with these testosterone replacement therapies? When are their hormones going to get out of whack and the side effects start setting in? Because all I see is these guys running amok with zero consequence. So here's Nick DiPaolo, who's turned himself into a frightening cop.
So
he doesn't look as huge as usual, but he's got that testosterone body, that Alex Jones beefy front.
If he pulled you over, your heart would be pumping.
Oh my God, he'd drag you out of the car and beat you senseless. He wouldn't even ask for your ID. So here's Nick DiPaolo. He is a degenerate. I mean, he's like a dirty cop.
And then, of course, you know him. You love me. He's on the show very often. NickDip.com. You can
Wait
watch
a
him on Mug
minute.
Club.
You went in a geo what order? So why am I last?
If we're going,
Either way, I don't
like the Cretaceous period. The
I thought you were saying if you stack up all of our accomplishments, it would reach the.
Does Nick DiPaolo have a son or a daughter? What's his excuse for this conservative man? Does he have a family?
He's got
or just that wife in the woods? Does he have kids? I'd like to see what these kids are about.
Saying if you stack up all of our accomplishments, it would reach the moon.
Well, it was geology, but it's for comedians, you guys. So it's
geology.
Fine.
I love geology.
Wait. 1, 2, 3. He's counting himself as a comedian here. It's for comedians, us. The same. Meanwhile, these guys have put in like 40 years apiece, day in and day out, 6 shows a night.
And they're all just letting him be.
And they're letting Crowder say he's a comedian just like them. He's part of the Murderer's Row. I just can't believe they're doing this. What kind of money did they get? I mean, this is last chance stuff, though. They're doing this because it's this or nothing.
All of our accomplishments, it would reach the moon.
Well, it was geology, but it's for comedians, you guys. So it's
geology.
I love geology. I'd love to start on geology.
Do you want to start on geology?
Igneous rocks.
Study of rocks.
And he's got, look at this one, Crowder.
Yeah. I love geology. I'd love to start on geology.
Do you want to start on geology?
Igneous rocks.
I just realized Callen's also wearing a Fight Like Hell tee. Crowder is wearing the long sleeve pajama version that he's been wearing for 15 years, this Fight Like Hell tee that really takes down his whole look. They notice it's got a big hole in the armpit. Now, one of two things, he's been wearing the same Fight Like Hell. You know how many Red Bar shirts? I've got 1,600 Red Bar shirts that fill my closet. So they're all practically brand new. Either he's been wearing the same Fight Like Hell pajama tee, or the quality just really ain't that good. It's ripping new. Either way, you don't see me with holes in my armpits.
We gotta get one of them to test the thinness.
Yeah, why don't we order up a Fight Like Hell t-shirt? Put that on the company card.
Study of rocks.
Are you more of, you see, a lot of people talk about carbon dating. You strike me more as a selenium dating.
I can't believe you know me so well,
I know.
bro.
It's almost like the back of my hand.
God, and what about
mole in my
selenium,
thumb.
man? Are we still mining that in the Congo, guys? Because these kids need to eat.
So, but seriously though, this is
Lot
one
of
thing,
attempts.
honestly, I've been wanting to get you guys in a room together for a while now. There really aren't many, think about it, like, did you just swallow a burp and you surprised yourself?
I'm just looking at the whole.
I swallowed a joke. I was going to make a racial crack. Go ahead.
No, go, but I mean, that's why we're here.
A racial crack. Doesn't that sound terrible? And he says, I was going to make a racial crack. Oh, you're disgusting. Don't cheer that on. Just going to make a racial crack. He wants to crack their skulls, you see. That's so dirty. What a downright dirty dog. Listen.
The whole.
I swallowed a joke. I was going to make a racial crack. Go ahead.
A crack?
Jeez.
I was going to make a racial crack. I'm the man.
Someone said Callen is Crowder's new wife.
Yeah, Callen, you're Crowder's new wife.
That's so
You're certainly slender enough for him.
Hey.
No, go, but I mean, that's why we're here.
No, I had nothing.
Okay.
We're here for the racial
All right.
cracks.
That's
Kidding.
okay. Well,
I
we'll
just smelled sour milk in here.
You can just block that out like a rape.
Beep that. Beep the R word, please.
Don't you love it? I just pulled a Chelsea Handler where I had you do a bit before, and then I took it and made it mine.
How do you know what Chelsea Handler does? You watch that whore?
No.
This is me.
She's no good. You guys are the only good comic.
They like all hate each other.
You watch that whore? Who watches that shit? You should be watching us here.
No, do you think it's
67K.
I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
It's so awkward because they all hate each other, just they all hate Crowder in their own way.
Yeah, here's what's really happening. These guys, I mean, this is a step down to work for this kid, okay? This kid who's been exposed and in the media for the last 3 months as the most downright rotten kid. So there's that. And you hung out with comics at the cellar all your life. You know he's not one of them. You know he's cringe. You know he's not good. So yeah, you all kind of hate Crowder in your own way. You all kind of hate yourselves for doing this. So yeah, it comes out in these little ways here. I'm so excited. You guys, remember, there has to be an ending to this eventually. This is what people forget during all this stuff. They go, oh, well, I guess that's that. They're all friends. Oh, no. There will be a falling out, a wonderful falling out. These guys can barely get along with their own wives. How are they going to get along with Crowder? Eventually, this is going to come out when Crowder starts pulling his stuff out for these guys. It's going to be all over. I can't wait to see what it becomes.
This is me hiding my face.
Yeah, well, because you have to go back to that club that none of us want to be a part of.
I actually
Bring her a box of black.
That's actually her new book.
Box of
Are
black.
you there? Are you there, God? It's me, woman who loves a box of black dicks. And people talk about how strong and independent she is.
I'm kidding. She's a terrific
They're
person.
censoring the word dicks, right? Because they're the freedom fighters. You can't hear that word.
She's actually.
She seems like a good
I like Chelsea.
All right.
Do you?
Yeah, she's
That
my
proves
friend.
she's an idiot, but go ahead.
You think everyone's your friend?
No, I've known Chelsea forever. She's good people.
I knew Hitler for a few years. That doesn't make him nice.
Well, so does
Okay,
Tim
Grandpa.
Kennedy. He found him. Now, look, this is pretty rare that you get this amount of people. There used to be a lot of shows like this. You think about Tough Crowd with Colin Quinn. Nick was obviously their pioneer there.
You're
I
the
mean, you
new
were regular.
Colin. By the way, Colin, get this out there. This is my official word on Colin Quinn's new project. Colin Quinn's got a new YouTube video series that everybody's crazy about. It's him walking around New York telling his stories about the old days. And everybody loves it. I want this going around. Start this rumor. Colin Quinn doesn't know shit about New York. He's the last guy I'd take any New York stories from. The guy's a total poser. He doesn't know anything about New York. Start spreading that. See how far you got. Do it on his videos. You'll see what happens there. He doesn't know shit about New York. What a poser. This guy's not from New York. Say stuff like that, okay?
Back on Sirius XM, of course, you had Opie and Anthony, where there was just sort of around comedians in and out. Now that's really sort of changed quite a bit. Everyone here is at least sort of right to center right. There's been a shift.
Look at this. There's been a shift, definitely. Everyone here is pretty much right to center right. And look at this adjustment he does. Keep your eye on, what's his name? Jim Brewer.
Everyone here is at least sort of right to center right. There's been a shift, almost a tectonic shift in the landscape of
You're not going to say anything? You were just screaming at me about how you're not a conservative and how dare anyone label you that. You don't do labels unless it's from Papa Crowder. You're center right or completely far off the wagon right? Is that what I heard? And you didn't butt in and say, no, I'm not conservative at all. Well, conservative isn't center right or far right.
He's more of a
you
common
got
sense guy.
You're more of a common sense guy, but they don't know that. They think you're one of them, as proven here.
Right. There's been a shift, almost a tectonic shift in the landscape of comedy, because that wasn't a thing.
You say right. Like most of us were just living our lives. And
Going
then
both
the
sides
world
right off the bat.
What's that?
Going both sides right off the bat, Brian.
I'm not. I'm just saying that the world started going crazy, and then all of a sudden I was just sticking to my...
You were accused of rape, and 3 different women said you did some sexually bad stuff. That's all that happened. You weren't just living your life. Well, you were, but part of that life was these rape accusations that hit the news. A little different than I was just minding my own business.
I'm not. I'm just saying that the world started going crazy, and then all of a sudden I was just sticking to my traditional beliefs. And all I was saying is 2 + 2 is 4. And all of a sudden I'm now not just right, I'm far right. Like where I went, you can say you're a man if you're a woman and you just decide you are, and there are all these things that started happening where I couldn't even follow.
These guys can't just commit to it. They know they can't just fucking, be such a traitor to their own self. But they are. I mean, here you are. You were at Crowder's fucking mug club mission statement thing on the podium. But you want to weasel your way out. Oh, well, I actually always was, I'm not really far right. Well, Crowder believes you are. And you're here to spread the right-wing message. You're not here to oppose that message. So you better hope that all your beliefs somehow match up and align with every right-wing belief. Even though you're not right-wing, you better hope those beliefs line up at least, right?
Rules, because they kept coming down from
when would you say,
I don't know where they were
when would you say that started happening?
And why are we having this discussion over again? Have we not heard this discussion? Why don't you guys do the comedy that the Murderer's Row is supposed to provide? It's never that. It's the same discussion over and over. And I have to keep calling out the same discussion. Now it's seeming like my problem. You must come up with a new topic.
2017, 2000, probably 2000.
That's when you sort of started identifying more as traditional conservative. You felt
that's when I started identifying as a woman.
Yes,
but with muscle.
Okay, wait.
But
well, so do a lot of the men who identify as women.
He needs to hear it. Crowder needs to hear it. When did you?
Traditional conservative.
And Brian can't do it. He's going, that's when I identified as a woman. No jokes allowed. This is Crowder's studio.
Probably 2000.
That's when you sort of started identifying more as traditional conservative. You felt like
that's when I started identifying as a woman.
Yes,
but with muscle.
Yeah,
but
muscle. You say where? So what's going on now? We finally hear it. He thinks he's got muscles. Where do you see a muscle here? I see a little kid with a big head, a little kid with a red size XS shirt with a big head. When you look in the mirror, you see a muscular man. I mean, look how small you are compared to me right now. You fit inside of me. You look like that kid they had to put to sleep that was doing Josh Denny. They were holding a microphone to him. Oh, I'm so glad he's gone. Crip Daddy. I'm so glad he's gone. Are you following the Crip Daddy death thing where all these guys are like reaching out? They're like, this feels pretty good having a dead friend. Watch this.
To a lot of the men who identify as women.
Yes, but the George Floyd thing really went crazy. Where you start seeing things like
Who's that?
Wait, he didn't.
Who's this George Floyd?
He didn't answer, so he weaseled out of it. None of them want to admit they're conservatives except for Nick DiPaolo.
But then, okay, so they talk about a bunch of bullshit you couldn't picture.
Yeah.
Wait, go to 25 minutes.
25 minutes in.
This isn't a side.
Murderer's Row. Did we really watch this much of it? Murderer's Row. 25 minutes. Okay, let it play.
Yeah. This
in writer's room. All of a sudden, you have this groupthink, this hive mentality, and that's kind of what happens.
Back with Soros money.
If you start teaching children at that age, and they go all the way up to college, and especially when you have this sort of issue where they all come from the same area code, and you can trace this back. It's not a mystery.
Right. No, you're absolutely
as to how this sort of this collective madness.
Yeah, and it only could get this big and take on this momentum with help of the media. The media,
that's it.
You couldn't. We have
Look at them.
Even Fox. You're going to call that right wing?
No,
people?
Of course not.
It's good for business.
Professional wrestling. It's professional wrestling.
But it's good for
You
business.
get this side to believe in this and bigger. And somehow we even get the homosexuals to stop fighting one another. It'll be brilliant. Send the thunder, sire. Make sure all the media pushes out immediately. Put on the Time magazine. Yeah.
Oh, Jim knew he had to say something. He's been sitting there quiet. Is this the guy that you thought you were getting for Murderer's Row? Because it doesn't seem like you're too thrilled with his. He really had to keep going to cue to you guys. Guys, start fucking laughing. I can't do this forever. Look at this again. Jim Brewer's been basically quiet. And then he decides it's time for me to contribute. I was hired to be the funny. I'm a funny guy. I got to go do my funny. Watch him attempt to throw out one of his first things here.
It's good for business.
Professional wrestling. It's professional wrestling.
But it's good for
You
business.
get this side to believe in this and bigger. And somehow we even get the homosexuals to stop fighting one another. It'll be brilliant. Send the thunder, sire. Make sure all the media pushes out immediately. Put on the Time magazine.
That's not quite the vibe that Crowder's on.
Crowder didn't even get it until you had to throw in the media. And then
Crowder's like, I showed you Murderer's Row, huh? That's not really what Crowder is even saying. You know, this is a big mess. Both of you are unwilling to commit. Only Nick is willing to kill a black child for Crowder. I'm ready to burn them all up. Burn up all them little... Imagine what he says behind closed doors, Jacumia.
And look, Jim Brewer's still fully in it.
Ooh, Jim. That's debasement, right?
Yeah.
Let's see what he says next.
Isn't that Klaus
I remember
Schwab?
magazines.
That's Klaus Schwab.
Ooh, sitting it. You see how he had to sit in his own shit right there?
Isn't that Klaus
I remember
Schwab?
magazines.
Ooh. Sitting in your own shit, huh? Cool.
That's Klaus Schwab he's doing.
I remember magazines.
Dead on.
One day, we'll struck the entire...
Who's laughing?
When is it when you get fat that it's
Crowder don't like that, huh?
Crowder's tiny gay foot.
You don't like that. Oh my God, that is a tiny little woman's medallion, bro. What is that?
That's small.
Foot too small. All right, do we have any more codes from this
I'll
one?
go to 2855.
2855. Here we go. 2855. Here we are. Any story you need here? Or?
Just listen to Callen.
Callen.
That's as human as it gets. What I go crazy
Good point,
over
Callen.
is what I would call chaos. We are embracing. So when the CDC
Stick to this.
when you can go as a man and get a drug that causes you to lactate, which allows you then to breastfeed your child, and that milk, because of the drugs you have to take, actually causes heart problems in a child.
Yeah.
And the CDC and everybody else isn't going, we got to stop this because this is evil, which it is. This is evil and insanity. When you don't have that.
People hate that breastfeeding man. The only way I could like that man more is if the stuff coming out of his tits was poison. What is with you queers and the kids? You guys are obsessed with fucking kids. Protecting them. You will really go out of your way to stop the breastfeeding man that has been really taking this whole town over here. Everywhere I go, there's a guy with his tit out, breastfeeding a kid. It's not just a one-time guy. It's everywhere, and it's poisoning the kids. Okay. Look at that little
Now
arm.
we're really in trouble. Now what's happening is we are embracing actual insanity. When you have men who can go to women's prisons and get 2 women pregnant, 2 female, and before they get moved, we are dealing with insanity.
That's right.
When Scotland says, if you say you're a woman for 3 months and you don't have to have anything, you can have balls and a beard and get put into a woman.
Those do seem like the 3 most important things on my list. Stuff that needs to get fixed. I mean, I can't believe 2 fucking spicks in jail got raped once by a guy. Oh. Stop the government. Government shutdown required. We need to make sure the senoritas in Orange is the New Black don't get have sex. It's not rape when it's 2 prisoners. It's sex. So that's where you're going to go. But what about the 2 women who got raped by a trans? I'm sure they won't let that happen again. They're very sorry.
They're updating. Okay.
And what about all the other rapes in jail? You don't really do much talking about those.
What about rapists that are roaming free right now among us, maybe even in this room?
I love how they trick themselves into thinking that they actually care about this because they can't really come up with anything else. I mean, and we've just been seeing this on repeat. What would they be
talking about?
Just on repeat. Like, imagine, it's like, yes, I hate the breastfeeding man, too. I can't dedicate my life to him. We've got bigger fish to fry, like yourself. You're worse than the breastfeeding man has ever been. I hope you know that. To us, if you think the breastfeeding man is one of your main pillars of why you've had to change your whole life around, well, you're 400 times worse than the breastfeeding man in this community. So imagine how bad you are.
A woman for 3 months and you don't have to have anything. You can have balls and a beard and get put into a women's prison. I don't know what the we're doing anymore. But there are certain things that I'm willing to fight for. There are lines you're going to cross where I'm going to take my heels in and I'm actually going to fight.
That's where he would fight and just throw away his whole life over that. Imagine fighting for that. Guys, I'm sorry. I have my 2 families. I'm sorry. I must leave now. Why, Daddy? Why? You have 2 families here. We need you. Oh, I'm sorry. I've drawn a line in the sand. They've gone too far. The breastfeeding man needs to be stopped. I'll see you. I got to go fight. I'm putting myself out there with a gun. And you're not fighting for any of this. Why is the breastfeeding man out and about right now? He's that hard to beat? You got so many of you guys who hate the breastfeeding man. He's running amok.
Get him already.
He's hosting the streamings. That's where I draw the line. We can't have men. And it's not men. It's just this one guy that People Magazine faked a picture of a hairy man's tit and a baby smiling next to it.
I don't even know.
And they're like, it's over. Why would you care about? What about the bearded lady? We're going to get the bearded lady. We're going to get, there's a lot of people to fucking get if the breastfeeding man is there's so many guys. You guys are going to be busy with this war for a long time.
Fight for. There are lines you're going to cross where I'm going to dig my heels in and I'm actually going to fight. And you're my enemy, motherfucker.
Like you said,
I'm not interested in being, I don't want to meet you halfway.
Wow.
This is why you say, how did I come out of the closet? Why am I, you want to call me right wing? You want to call me a conservative?
Look, he got caught up. This is why I'm out of the closet, and this is why this is why you want to call me a right wing, is because still doesn't really have the guts. Look at him getting all caught up. What kind of a fucking father is this? I spit on your fatherhood.
How did I come out of the closet? Why am I, you want to call me right wing? You want to call me a conservative? I'm a proud conservative now.
Whoa! He was fun. He let his little speech make him... Next time you're on Rogan claiming you're not conservative, I'm sending Rogan this clip. via blimp so he sees it.
We can watch that clip next. He told Rogan he's not Christian.
Oh, God, this guy is so slimy. Listen to this once more. He finally blurts it out, but it's because he was on this epic, roll here.
You want to call me right wing?
He needed a way to, end this little rant with a bang. He's going nowhere with this rant about the breastfeeding man. All of a sudden, you want to call me? Well, yeah, I am right wing. If there's a breastfeeding man, hell yeah, I'll change everything in my life for that.
This is why you say, how did I come out of the closet? Why am I, you want to call me right wing? You want to call me a conservative? I'm a proud conservative now because that's the kind of shit I'm not going to compromise on.
Well,
and
let's
if you want to play
compromise
this
on the
game,
mic.
go
I'm trying to get in there.
Sorry.
No, but
even Crowder's like, the breastfeeding man is just a novelty act. Wait, what happened here?
Completely.
Listen to this.
Really listen to what Crowder
Okay, let's hear it again.
You want to call me a conservative? I'm a proud conservative now because that's the kind of shit I'm not going to compromise on.
Well,
and if
let's
you want to play
compromise
this
on the
game,
mic.
go
I'm trying to get in there.
Sorry.
No.
What, Crowder? Well, let's not compromise the mic because you want to get in. What does he mean? He's screaming too loud in the mic?
He said, let's compromise the mic so we can get on there. Like he's saying, after Callen's big passionate speech, he just got told that he went on way too long.
No, so Crowder's pulling the Landau light on you. You've been Landau lit. Look at this bitch ass. So you were told, Crowder just goes, are you done? Are you done?
I didn't even notice.
Well, Crowder, you should be... He's helping you. Without these guys, you'd be nothing. Imagine how humiliated and shamed you'd be if you didn't have these guys helping you right now to not look like such a scumbag. You're so lucky that Bryan Callen and these fools are here with you, and you're going to treat Bryan like the new Landau? Why can't you just realize Bryan Callen sucks, and it's not worth it? Look at this. Look at this display.
Right wing? You want to call me a conservative? I'm a proud conservative now because that's the kind of shit I'm not going to compromise on.
Well,
and if
let's
you want to play
compromise
this
on the
game,
mic.
go
I'm trying to get in there.
Sorry.
No, but I was no.
Did you write that down?
Oh! Shame. What an abusive little woman. You are his new wife. Crowder's got a new wife. Crowder's got a new wife. This is your third family. Look at this again. Look how Bryan reacts to this. Look.
I'm trying to get in there.
Sorry.
No, but I was no.
Did you write that down?
I don't have to.
Did you?
It's right up here.
That's for crying out loud. You were one step away from banging the podium.
Oh, you're all making fun of him? You do the same speeches. You're about to do one now. So you sat and you realized that was a corny-ass, gay-ass, cringe-ass speech. You're all making fun of him. Well, what did you... He thought that's what you wanted. You just did the Mug Club conference where you were all making these gay, corny speeches. This is incredible. Look at this.
Maybe Crowder thought they were going to be a little bit more funny.
Yeah, so he's sitting there nervous. He thinks it's going to be like Colin Quinn. Everybody's being real. But you're not around real people anymore. You're around people who've sold their soul. And now you're just realizing Bryan Callen is this little fucking weaselly twerp who just fucking cons his way into a little rant and hopes that you all buy it. And you didn't buy it, did you? Watch this again.
Because that's the kind of shit I'm not going to compromise on.
Well,
and if
let's
you want to play
compromise
this
on the
game,
mic.
go
I'm trying to get in there.
Sorry.
No, but I was no.
Did you write that down?
I don't have to.
Did you?
It's right up here.
That's for crying out loud. You were one step away from banging the podium.
There's a PDF that I'm going to send out.
Oh, you sad,
I was just going to say, but it all starts with that addict. You said,
oh, Nick, you're just going to let him do this to your comrade in comedy?
Damn.
It's going to be you next, Nick, and you're going to fucking snap.
there's only the truth.
Yeah.
And that's the attitude when they argue with you. They start at I'm morally superior, so it doesn't matter what comes out of your mouth.
Right.
And that's why they're so quick to
They got to keep holding him back from just killing him, huh? Hold that. Oh, Uncle Nick's going to kill him. I mean, look at this guy's body language. Officer, fuck you. That's who he thinks he is.
Yeah, exactly. They want to shut down the conversation.
that took a while to sink in. I mean, I heard it years ago, but then when you watch it and it's so prevalent today, you're like, they really
Saving Callen.
think they're smarter.
How far back you think goes? Because
He used his professionalism to save Callen there. Did you see that?
Wow.
Brewer, you're fucking next. Aren't you observing, Brewer? Look at Brewer observing like a snake.
And also Crowder.
What exactly is going on here? Aren't you worried? This isn't a good group of guys.
When it showed Crowder for just 1 second, he was like shaking his leg, like so anxious.
He was
he's,
so
like,
sick of
irritated
Brian's
with all
rant.
of them.
Okay, did we have any other codes from this?
Nah.
There it was, Murderer's Row. Pretty good.
But